Hello, I see a timer now. So I hope it's working.
You see a timer?
Well, it disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if we can, let's see if we're live in the Fairytale Glitter group now.
Let's see.
Let's see. Are we here? Is anybody going to join?
I'm here.
Well, I know Trish is here. So this is Christine and Trish in case we are live and we're just not seeing it yet.
We're live.
We're live. We are live.
Yay.
Okay. Yay. Hey. Okay, so I'm Christine and this is Trish.
Lucky day, fairies. Hi.
Hi. So we are here and we are longtime fairies. That sounds so wonderful. And we're a little crazy and a lot of fun. So I hope that you interact with us.
Hello,
Kathy Hawkins. And we are here to do a Gypsy Leopard with you today using all Fairytale glitters. So in the event, I listed what I was going to use. Shenanigans! Whoop, whoop!
Whoop, whoop.
So there is one thing that I didn't list in the event that I should mention is that we are going to start with a completely stainless tumbler and we are not going to spray paint it.
No, we're not. Nope.
What?
Not going to do it.
That's so crazy.
They can't make us.
Nope. Hello, Ashley. Thank you so much for helping us get live or
Hello.
get on the live or help us go live or what all those verbs are.
Bringing us to the people.
Kathy, you need to get some of those pretzels, man.
Oh my God.
They're so good. So they're called Dutch pretzels, and I thought they were just like, you know, baked buttery pretzels.
Boring.
No, they're like garlicky and seasoned and yummy. So,
Delicious.
I want to be clear that I do not represent any company that I will talk about today. Clearly, I'm here on behalf of Fairytale, so I'm using all of their glitters, and I'm actually using their new skinny 30-ounce tumbler, so I'm super excited about that, so I can show you what that looks like. But I'm also going to be using some Counterculture DIY Dispersion colors, and that's what I'm going to base coat with. So, and I'm also using their Fast Set epoxy. So I wanted to just throw that out there. Throwing it out there. So let's take a look at this 30-ounce skinny. Loving this cup. Completely, guess I should take this out if I want to show you the inside, huh? So completely seamless inside. And I can't get my thing out of her. My face is turning all red. There we go. So we have a completely seamless stainless steel tumbler with a nice flat bottom. I do have this sanded and washed, so we are ready to go. But you notice that I did not spray paint it. Mentioned that once or twice already.
They can't make you.
Can't make me do it.
Not gonna do it.
I know, Emily, I am not in the normal place that I am, but I promised Ruth that I would do a live in Fairytale Glitter, so I'm Fairytale today. Sorry. Sorry, Emily. I'm Fairytale.
She's a fairy every day.
I am a fairy every day. Wait a minute.
Oh.
I don't know if I like what that sounded like.
Oh.
I am a Fairytale girl. So, let's talk about what we are doing. I posted some pictures. I don't have a completed tumbler to show you.
Now we have to be careful.
Oh, yeah. So we got to be careful. We have a swap cup spinning over here for a member that may or may not be in here. So, what are we going to do? So I am going to base coat this cup with the dispersion colors, and then I am going to apply Fairytale glitters. Today I am using Raspberry Tort, Atlantis, and these are all ultra fines so far. Azuril, if I'm saying that right. Flora. Then when we get to step 2, which I haven't gotten my micas down, I'm going to use some My Little Pony Chunky Mix. I'm going to use some gold mica, and I'm going to use some teal paint, which I forgot to get. So I'm going to ask my handy dandy assistant Trish to grab me some teal paint here in a minute. Yeah, I usually use the, it's like a sea teal. It's called something like Cool Caribbean or something. Yeah, but I won't need that right away. Like we've got a good like 20 minutes before I need that. So, I'm going to mix up some Fast Set epoxy, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that while we talk because, we have to work really quickly with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up about 30 mils, and then I'm going to divide it into 4 little containers because I'm going to use 4 colors here. I'm going to use sand, tsunami, cobalt, and cool carmine. And I'm going to apply this to my tumbler with epoxy. and then I'm going to apply my glitter to that. So once I get started here, I'm going to turn my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. But for now, I have,
Caribbean?
yeah, like Cool Caribbean or something. It's just the cheap, like Walmart paint. Yeah, perfect. And then in the gold mica box, will you find me one of the Fairytale gold micas?
Yep.
You know which ones are Fairytale?
I'm sure.
The big packets.
Yeah. Like these ones?
Yes. So the part that you're not going to see me do live, which I did do a time-lapse video, which, okay, so it took me like 5 minutes to do, and when I time-lapse video, it like condensed it to 20 seconds, but you're not going to see me do the leopard spots. But in order to do the glitter, and then the next step of the epoxy, I had to, yeah, that'll work. Well, actually, find me more of a yellow gold.
That's all
like
you
a
got
gold.
in
That's
the
all I
frame.
got. Okay, that'll work.
Unless you want something white gold.
No. That'll work. We'll make that work.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to mix up, like I said, about 30 mils of epoxy, and I'm going to divide most of it in the 4 cups, but I'm going to put a very thin coat on the tumbler. Yes, these dispersion colors, so just to give you an idea of what they are a very concentrated epoxy dye, for lack of a better term. Colorant, maybe, is probably the better way to say it. And it's, a lot of people have said, well, what's the difference between that and adding acrylic paint? Well, acrylic paint has a lot of other things in it that makes paint paint, right? It dries and it coats things. Well, this is just color. So you could like spread colorant, this dispersion color, on a surface, and it would just kind of sit there. It's not paint. It's not going to dry. So it's not, it doesn't have all of the other stuff that paint would have, and that would then react with your epoxy. So these dispersion colors go into the epoxy, and they don't change the chemical properties of it. Now, there's still like a ratio that you have to watch. Like, you don't want to mix more, you don't want to have more than 5% colorant to 95% epoxy, which you definitely don't need a lot of this. So there's really no fear in actually having that happen. You having a little hard time there, Trish?
Yes.
So we're just going to add a little bit of the colorant, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this down so you can see what I'm doing. And actually, you're just going to see me stir epoxy here for a minute. So I'm mixing 30 mils of fast set, and I'm not going to be able to see my comments. But Trish is going to.
The flash, when you turn that sucker down?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, could you see that?
No.
Okay.
We're safe.
Okay. Totally wasn't thinking about the cup.
It's okay.
You know what? I'm not digging that gold with this cup.
No, I'm not either.
No, will you find me a more yellow gold? I don't care.
Okay.
Get me a Woody's Goodies.
Okay.
So I'm not using like another glitter competitor.
Okay.
Get me the Cleopatra's gold. Thanks. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bark orders at you.
Barking orders.
So Trish is a fellow tumbler maker who is often here doing tumblers with me. And right now, I'm just like, get this for me. Do this, do that. And I don't mean to be like that. That's not my style.
I'm the grunt of
She's not the grunt.
Grunt. Anybody from TABTB. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you're allowed to say that. We go live a lot in Tumblr Addiction Beyond the Basics, but that's, we
Those
are.
peeps know.
Yeah, they know. I just totally mistreat her.
Right,
So,
Kathy Hopkins? She'll agree.
If you use, I'm going to make sure you can see the cup here. Sorry, I'm moving my light out of the way. I'm using fast set, so you only have like 5 to 10 minutes of work time with this. But since we are using it to apply glitter, you actually have a lot more because, I mean, like, you obviously want to get it on the tumbler fast, but it will remain tacky for longer than 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm not worried about the glitter application as much as I am getting my colors mixed and applied. So sorry if I'm kind of focused a little bit on what I'm doing here and talking a little less. Shocker, me not talking. Like, that's not like me at all.
Nope.
Nope. I'm a talker. Alright, so I don't know if this is really a required step or not, but I like to put a base coat of epoxy on my cup. It's just what I've always done. I feel like it helps me get the colors moving like I want them to. I would say in theory, if you're using enough of the epoxy with the colors.
We're safe now.
Thank you. I was worried about showing that cup by accident. I don't even know if your secret sister is in this group or not, but I would really hate to be responsible for showing yet another swap cup. So we're we're in a swap, like a trade, and once before we were doing a live and the person's like, oh my gosh, I think I see my cup in the background. We're like, oh man. So I'm doing a thin coat of epoxy. Now this is, we're going to be putting more epoxy on this cup than we would with a typical glitter layer. And that's okay because the fast set dries so quickly, you're not going to get that pooling effect as bad as you would if you had a real thick coat. But I'm not putting it on very thick right now. And I am going to move the camera up so you can see this cup a little bit better once I show you me mixing the dispersion colors in. So I have 4 cups here. I'm using 4 different colors. Again, these are the Counterculture DIY Dispersion colors. Similar.
Some room.
Huh?
Do you need some room?
Nope, I'm good. I'm just breaking up some popsicle sticks. I'm going to use sand, and this is what I'm going to use for my my gold base. Just a little bit. I mean, that's probably equivalent to maybe 5 drops. Again, that was sand. I'm going to use some cobalt, which is one of my favorites. It is absolutely the most beautiful blue. Wait till you see this go on the cup.
It's really pretty. I think it's one of my favorites too.
Tsunami. Woo! Put a lot in that one. Didn't quite mean to do that much, but that's okay. I'm like, it's aight. We're just gonna roll with it. And this is called Cool Carmine.
You like that one a lot too.
I do. I love this color.
It's pink.
Well, it's not that I'm a pink girl as much as I just like the tone of it.
It's pink.
All right. So I am just, do you see any questions
I
yet?
don't. Anybody got any questions?
I'm mixing these in. And like I said, I'm going rather quickly, but that's because I am working with fast set. So these are my 4 base colors. So I'm going to move you a little bit now so that you can see more of the cup, and you'll see some I saved some paper plates. I'm going to reuse those, but I'm going to just apply these with my hand in a streak pattern up the cup. And I have my cup rotating. I don't know how it looks to you guys on the camera, but it is going clockwise for me. So my diagonal line is going to go from the bottom right to the top left. And I'm actually going to do sand and I'm going to do sand first because this is going to be my gold. And it's not going to completely cover and be so opaque that you're not going to be able to see silver. I'm going to wait for it to come back around, and I'm going to make it about as wide as I want my gold to be. But I just want to determine about how wide I want my leopard gold swatch to be on the cup. And I am pulling it down around on the bottom. Now all the glitters that I'm using today are a metallic glitter. They're not translucent, so we are going to get nice coverage with them. But the reason why I'm still using color on the base of my tumbler is because In some spots, you might actually see this like in the gaps in the glitter, and that's okay. That's how you get part of the effect. So then working from the gold out, so I'm going to do the left and the right of the gold, which in this case is sand. I'm going to apply the tsunami. So I'm just going to go up the side of the sand on both sides. And I'm being rather sloppy, and that's okay, because again, this is just the base coat. And next I'm gonna do cobalt.
Cobalt.
Which is, I just love this. I love it. Did I say that already?
Nope.
Once or twice, maybe?
Maybe. Say it again.
I love this color.
There you go.
Look at that.
So pretty.
And I'm overlapping it just a hair with the tsunami. And I'm letting some of that silver shine through. It's okay.
It's alright.
It's alright.
Just go with it.
We're just making a nice streaky mess.
Streaky mess.
And you'll see that the cup starts to look pretty cool with just this. And you can actually, I mean, with these dispersion colors, you can apply like a mother of pearl, for example, like one of the opal glitters here, and create some pretty cool tumblers with just these colors.
It's true.
Yes, you can. But that's not what we're doing here today, guys. No, we're doing a Gypsy Leopard. So now I'm coming in with my pink.
Cool carmine.
Cool carmine. Gotta wait for it to come back around. And my fast set is getting a little bit warm now. Bring it down around the bottom. Now normally I would have my silicone mats underneath this cup, but I put some white paper to cover up the messiness that I have. But as you can see, I'm a sloppy crafter. I'm getting this stuff everywhere. You should see my hands. All right, so there we have the colors.
Yay!
Whew, taking my glove off. Ah. So, this is epoxy and your dispersion colors. I have quite a bit left. Probably didn't need 30 mils, but I didn't want to run out. Just gonna wipe a little bit of my mess off because I'm gonna put some paper plates here. And the way I like to do this, huh?
Are you done with those?
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just push them up here.
I'll take it. I'll put them in a mold.
Oh, you're gonna put them in a mold? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sand. Tsunami. Trisha's gonna make a mold with my leftover colors. Hurry up, they're getting really warm. There's none of the clear left.
Okay.
So the way that I do this is I do my gold side first, and then I do my pink or raspberry side. Let me make sure you guys can see this well. And then we're going to fill in between. And I think the filling in between is definitely where the magic happens. And that's why I like to start with the gold and the pink first, because those are really your anchor points. So you go ahead and get this ready. I'm going to use the El Dorado. And when I apply, I'm going to concentrate more on the center of the strip, and then I'm going to get a little lighter, like I'm going to raise my shaker higher and let it be a little more sporadic as I get closer to the teal color. Because when I bring my teal color, I'm going to get a little bit of an overlap. So I want my gold and my teal glitters to blend. So I want to create opportunity for there to be some intermingling of my color. And I'll show you what I mean. So it's going to take, because I'm doing this while it's spinning, which I don't always do. See how I'm getting the center in there first? It's going to take a couple spins.
Ooh, that's warm.
Yeah, I told you I was getting warm. So now I'm coming up higher and lighter, and I'm just gently getting some gold there towards the edge. And you might not even see it on the camera. And it's okay if some gold gets in the teal, and the teal is going to get in the gold. You watching for comments?
Yep. Hold on.
You're fine. And now I'm going to go to Raspberry Torte. And sorry, some of my labels are half fallen off.
Kimberly just said she logged on.
Oh shoot, I forgot to do the bottom with the gold. Hold on, before I do my raspberry. Most of my bottom is actually gold. And I forgot to, so I'm just going to put some, since I'm not using any fancy turner, just going to flick some gold. I'm not the best at this part. Trish likes to make fun of me. This is usually when you hear her cackling and laughing at me.
I'm not doing that here.
You're not. I'm very impressed. You're saving the harassment for other areas, apparently.
Okay, yes.
All right, we're gonna leave.
Be predictable.
Oh, okay.
Can I have a
Baby wipe?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sherry Parsons, where do you get your shakers?
So I actually order my shakers mostly from US Plastics. They are hefty on their shipping, but if I order enough, I justify it. So if I order like 50 shakers at a time, their shipping's like $15 to $18. But usually if I, price that across the price, then it's not so bad. So
Ashley says she likes the Raspberry Torte. It's one of her favorites.
Yes, this is a great metallic
Especially the
magenta.
chunky mix.
Ooh, I don't think I have the Raspberry Torte Chunky Mix.
I don't think you do either.
Oh, that would have been great on this cup. Dang it. All right, so let me wait till the pink side. So like I said, I do the gold side, and then I wait for the pink to come around. And again, I'm targeting the middle. Trying to catch most of it. Look at that. I love. You're right, Ashley. This is definitely an awesome color. And then I come up a little higher, and I get a little bit of blend into the blue. Not much. Just make sure I have my pink covered. Flick a little bit of this on the bottom. Not much.
Because she can't do it.
Just because I don't want a lot. It's not that I can't do it.
No, she can't do it.
Shut up. I struggle with the bottom, okay? I do. I admit it.
You do. I've seen this woman use
I blow it on sometimes.
Different techniques.
I blow it on.
Yeah.
I throw it on.
It's
I
been
buy
a
a
real
tilting
mess.
turner so I can not use it right.
Yeah, no, we have a tilting turner that we don't tilt.
Well, sometimes. Okay, so now I'm going to go from the gold out. So I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is my Flora. And I don't actually have a plate for that yet. So this shaker actually was a gift, so I can't tell you where this one's from. This is Flora Ultrafine. And I'm going to do my line thicker and then lighter and blend it into the gold.
Ashley says, is the bottom a mix of all the colors?
It is. So I bring my gold down and around, and then, and I'll show you, Ashley, I bring a little bit of each color, but it's primarily gold because I like to bring my leopard spots around to the bottom as well. So since we have this on both sides, I love how the Flora actually blends. And I'm actually taking, and you can't quite see it yet, I'm taking the Flora into the gold. Because I think the key to these types of cups is this overlap of color. So I'm actually shaking more at a sideways than an up and down, more at an angle following the streak than at a vertical. And you might be able to see that more when I do the next one, with it, which is Azrael. Does that help?
It brightens it up a little bit.
Okay. So the next color I'm using is Azrael, and I'm sorry if I'm saying them incorrectly. I am from West Virginia, Pennsylvania. So I know I only use 2 base colors, but I'm kind of using Azrael as the blend between the Flora and the Atlantis. So I'm doing that as like an in-between color, because I feel like this is a blend of Flora and Atlantis, because it's got that blue and green together. So I'm sort of cheating and mixing, not having to mix glitters. I'm using a color as a mix.
Fancy.
I am so fancy. And I got to get the bottom too. And I'm going to come back maybe with some more of that, because this Azrael, being a mixture of the colors, is a great one to come back around, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it when I do it. After I get some, oops, I hit my cup. Ah, shit. See, I missed the bottom. Shut up, Trish. All right, here.
Wow, that was really poor. Oh, Jesus. I wish you all could see this
I
technique.
just blew it on the bottom. You know what? I did it.
That was really good.
I used my mouth and I created some wind, and I got it on the bottom. Hey, did I get it on there? I did.
Hey, Ashley says you were saying the names correctly.
Thank you. All right, and so now I'm coming through with Atlantis, and again, I'm going to overlap the blue into the pink, or the raspberry tort.
Sierra Cooper says that's stunning.
Again, shaking it at a kind of a, oops, I missed. I have a certain flow. Oops, there's where I hit it with my cup. I'll have to get that. I have to wait for it to come back around to get my color.
To get your flow.
Right, because I have to start at the bottom. I can't start mid. There we go. So I got a lot of blue actually into the pink. So I might actually just tap that down a little bit. I hit that with my plate.
Wow.
So where I was thinking I was going to have to hit it with blue, I'm actually going to come back in with some more pink. And having a little bit more epoxy than your typical epoxy coat for glitter helps, because it's a little more wet, and you can come in with a I'm real light here, just hitting it with a little bit more pink, and then what I'm gonna do now is with the Azrael, I'm gonna put some on the plate. No, I'm not going to blow it again, Trish.
Oh, all right.
I'm just, because I like to, real high level here. I'm just going to grab another, well, I've already made a mess on this paper. All the way around, I'm just going to do a, whoops, not quite that much. I didn't want that much. Real light shadow. I didn't mean to dump quite that much. I didn't want that much blue in my gold. but that's okay. We'll work with it.
Oh, hey, Sandra. Sandra's on with us.
Hi, Sandra! So that is the base coat. So I'm not sure if I thoroughly explained. What I was trying to do was to really intermingle the colors. So you have the gold to the teal, to the azurel, to the Atlantis, to the raspberry tort, and then it fades backwards. So even though I used facet, I'm a little leery to jump right into the leopard spots on this, which would be your next step. So you would allow this to spin for probably a good hour, hour and a half at least. So what I did, because I wanted to be able to complete this live in one sitting and not do a two-part. So let me get rid of these. Is I went ahead
Dun, dun, dun.
and we're gonna switcheroo here. And out of the Easy Bake Oven comes this. So Ashley, you were asking about the bottom. So yeah, I bring my colors, a little bit of each color, around to the bottom. So you can see I've applied the leopard spots to this cup. I've done nothing else to this cup other than base coat it just like what we just did. And then I painted the leopard spots. Now I'm going to talk you through just very quickly on how I did the leopard spots. I mix acrylic paint with Mod Podge, a little bit of brown and a little bit of black. And I paint the brown sections and then I put glitter on those. And then I go through with the black Mod Podge and then I glitter those. So for this, I used Huntsman and Arabian Nights. So then I let this dry about 30 minutes and I sealed it. So this cup is the exact same cup, except for now this has leopard spots. So, and it has also completely finished curing and it has been sealed. So now we're going to go to the next step in the Gypsy Leopard, which is applying a coat of epoxy, some mica, some acrylic paint, and some chunky glitter. And for that, I'm using the My Little Pony Chunky Mix. I thought that would go well. I'm using some gold mica and not bad. And I'm using Caribbean acrylic paint. So I'm not going to fast set this just because I don't need to, because I don't need to progress to another step after it. Oops.
Do you need more?
Nope, I'm good.
Enough?
Yep. So I'm just going to mix up another 30 mils of epoxy. So do we have any questions?
Anybody?
Anybody? It'll take me a couple minutes just to mix this up.
Bueller?
Should put my glove back on. I guess I don't technically have to. I'm not touching it with my finger. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the gold streaks and the aqua streaks and then a little bit of chunky glitter. So I did a time-lapse video of me doing the leopard spots on this particular cup, and I'll post that in the event section so you can see me doing that in action. Oh yeah, I do need my glove. I am applying epoxy. Blech.
Bleh.
Tell you what, man, sometimes I'm an idiot. Can I have one of your gloves?
Yep. You just want one?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep stirring that for
Yep.
you.
Ashley's taking notes, she said.
Well, I will save this. I'll save it. Oh, dang it.
Let me get you another one.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
You'll hate it.
It's okay. I ripped the excess off. I just busted my glove. Thank you. I'll post this live in the group, and I'll put a link in the event itself, so you guys can refer back to it.
Ashley said this is the part I always mess up. That's why she's taking notes, I guess.
Well, I mean, to be honest, less is more on this part, in my opinion. So, the teal color, I use the paint. That's the person that I watched do it. That's what they used. The acrylic paint actually allows the epoxy to get a little more stringy. That's actually why you don't want to use acrylic paint and epoxy on a regular basis. The mica makes the epoxy a little more metallic and flowy. So, I don't know why I did that. Where's my pen? So you get two different effects from the two different, like using one over the other. So let's go ahead.
That gold is awesome.
I know, I love this gold.
I do too.
So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up my gold mica. And my teal acrylic paint. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I want it to get a little stringy. Yeah.
There you go.
See,
Yep.
see how that gets kind of stringy? We're gonna let that sit for a second while I apply a layer of epoxy to the cup. Now normally I'm left-handed and I like my cup turning towards me, but when I apply the colors I like it turning away. So my epoxy application here is a little awkward for me, but I'd rather have it spinning in the direction for my color. So I'm just dealing with it. Deal with
How
it.
bright those colors are. Isn't that
Yes,
incredible?
these glitters are so vibrant under epoxy. I love Fairytale glitter. Oops. Clearly I don't have it screwed on here well, because it's sitting on me.
Super sharp. Anybody got questions? They're so quiet.
They are very quiet. That's
Quiet
okay. They
Saturday.
don't know us. Well, we've got some familiar faces on
Yeah.
here. As you can see, my glove is all ripped up.
A little bit.
You know, quarantine causes you to resort to different vendors, and I'm not sure I would use this one again. So I'm just going to apply some gold mica following the lines of my cup, and I do the streaks a little more concentrated towards the leopard and then kind of phase them in towards the pink. If I'm going to put a name on this cup, I do it on the pink section. It's okay if you want to get a little bit of the lines on the leopard itself. I don't go too far into the leopard personally, but I do like to get one started on the bottom. Oops. Beep. And like I said, less is more. And see how that's nice and stringy? That's going to get you that nice thin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that looks good.
I'm going to come back in with some more gold. Actually, I'm going to smooth that one down. That's
Would metallic acrylic paint make the gold more stringy and easier to use, like the blue?
It would. I don't see why not. It's just the tutorial that I watched when I first did this, they used mica for the gold, so I followed suit. I like how sometimes the mica disperses a little bit more and kind of clouds out. But yeah, you could definitely use acrylic paint for that too. I'm just pulling it down with my finger because I got a couple clumps that I'm not a fan of. There we go.
Nice.
And that, my friends, is all I do.
No.
What?
You gotta put the glitter on now.
Oh yeah, the chunky glitter. Duh.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta take my glove off for that.
Wow.
Ooh, I almost forgot my little pony.
Yeah, and don't forget the pony.
Don't forget the pony. So this is the layer that I apply the chunky glitter in as well. I could have done that before the streaks too, now
Wait,
that I
do you
think of
want
it.
a plate? Or are you just gonna let it fall?
Well, I was trying to be...
Do you need help?
You could have put the chunky glitter on before you did the streaks too, but I'm going to apply a little bit of My Little Pony Chunky. And I don't overdo it with the chunky glitter. I kind of follow the lines of the streaks.
That looks cute. I like it.
Thank you, Trish, for reminding me.
You're welcome.
You can put a little bit in the leopard if you want. It's your creation. You do with it as you want. And then that, I think, is complete. Oops, sorry.
Oh, you're getting lots of love. I think
So
I'm going
that-
to try this with mother of pearl chunky mix on top. Ashley says.
Ooh, yes, that would be very pretty.
That'd be sharp.
So this is my version of the Gypsy Leopard. And like I said, I will save this and post it in the group. So this is Christine and Trish. And I will share this in the event as well with those additional videos. Sorry, my phone thing is a little unstable.
It's a little wonky.
I know, Sandra. It does look a little bit like your cup. Your cup has been getting a lot of love. Especially since the one I posted actually says Sandra. Thank you, Ashley, for having us. I do appreciate your help with us in technical difficulties. And thank you for inviting us to Fairytale Glitters. I love your products. I use them all the time. And your tumbler is awesome. I can't wait to order more. So keep them well stocked. I hope that once we get through this quarantine, that sales pick up and we're just churning them out the door. So if you have any questions, tag us, tag Trish or I in your question, and we'll do our best to answer. And we'll try to come up with something else we can share with you in the future. So have a great day. Enjoy
Bye,
the
guys.
nice weather. Stay safe.